Hey guys, YouTuber 100 here. And yeah, it's been a couple of weeks once again since I have made a video. Yeah, just the last couple of weeks, yeah. It's been kind of hard the last couple of weeks. Yeah, I just had some stuff going on, and especially just during this week. Oh, this week has just been this week has sucked. Yeah, because just this past weekend I ended up having a hemorrhoid. Yeah, and that just absolutely sucked. Yeah, I don't know how many of you have actually had hemorrhoids before, but yeah, it is not fun at all. Yeah. So yeah, I was dealing with that just like this past weekend, but yeah, it did bust just earlier this week, and so yeah, it's healing now, but yeah, I've just been kind of like tending to the hemorrhoid and stuff, and just it's just not it's just kind of sucked doing that. Yeah, but it's healing now, and hopefully it'll like heal up pretty soon. Yeah, and I'm back here now for you guys. And I figure, yeah, we are like a yeah, it is like a couple of weeks until Christmas now. Yeah, so I do have something planned for Christmas, which yeah, but I'm going to announce that at the end of the video. Yeah. In the meantime, yeah, here I am now to give you guys another retro wrestling review. And this review, this is going to be a Vengeance 2001. Yeah. So, I actually have wanted to review this show for quite a while now, but I haven't gotten around to it, and I don't really know why I haven't. Yeah, so, yeah, I'd say this was a good pay per view overall. Yeah, I mean, I have really always liked it. Yeah, this was just like, this was just like coming a month off of like the invasion storyline. Yeah, the invasion had just ended like just the previous month at Survivor Series, of course. So yeah, this was just like kind of like the period that was like between the invasion and the brand split. So yeah, this was just kind of like during that like kind of uh, just unique time for the company. Yeah, and overall, yeah, I did like the show overall. Of course, like I'm sure just about all you know what the show is about. Obviously, like if you saw the thumbnail of the video, yeah. And this show was really just like set around like the Undisputed Championship. Yeah, this was like the night when, like you of course like had like the WWF Championship and the World Championship at the time being unified, like as the Undisputed Championship. And yeah, and of course like you all know who won on the Undisputed Championship this night. Yeah, you all know who did it. Yeah, but I'll get to that when I reach it in this video. Yeah, but yeah, this show overall, yeah, I did think it was good. I mean, yeah, I mean, nothing absolutely spectacular or anything. It's not like one of the greatest shows of all time, but yeah, it is an enjoyable one. I mean, there really wasn't anything that bad on the show. There may have been like one or two bad matches on the show, but yeah, still like it's still like wasn't really like didn't really like make the show bad or anything. Like the rest of like the show overall, it did have a pretty good flow throughout out the whole thing pretty much. And yeah, and it's just a pretty enjoyable show to watch. So yeah, so I really just don't can't really see like anything too wrong with the show. I mean, not a spectacular one, but it's a good one. So yeah, it is an enjoyable show. So if you haven't like seen the show before, I guess I would recommend it. Like it's not a must see show, but yeah, it is historic for the Undisputed Championship. But yeah, it is like still like it's nothing like absolutely great, but yeah, it is still a solid show. So yeah, so if you got like the time, like if you're just like looking to see like something that's really not spectacular but solid, yeah, this will be one of those shows that you could check out. Yeah. All right. So yeah. So let me just talk about the show. All right. So the show actually opened up with a small little promo from Vince McMahon because yeah, on the previous episode of SmackDown was when like The Rock stuffed Vince's head in Rikishi's ass, and yeah, Vince McMahon was just addressing that. Vince McMahon was pretty much just saying he'll have the last laugh with the saying, "He who laughs last laughs loudest." Yeah. But then Ric Flair just came out and interrupted Vince McMahon and just said that the people came to see a pay per view and not see him talk, and so yeah, and just said the show starts right now. So yeah, so Ric Flair just ended up just cutting off Vince McMahon. And right there, yeah. So yeah, so then we had like the first official match of the show. Yeah, so the first match on the show was Scotty, Too Hotty, and Albert versus Test and Christian, and yeah, this was good, I guess. Yeah, I mean, this was a solid tag match. I mean, there really wasn't like anything like absolutely spectacular about it, but yeah, it was a fine way to open up the show. Oh yeah, it was a nice fast-paced tag match. It just kind of went back and forth. Both teams were going at it with each other. Yeah, I mean, yeah, there was at one point where Scotty too Hotty, like, well, not Scotty too Hotty. Albert was tried to hit a Baldo bomb on Christian, but yeah, Tess was able to pull Albert out of the ring to stop him from pinning Christian. Yeah, they, yeah, and then at one point, as Test and Albert were like on the outside of the ring, Scotty too Hotty like tried to go for the worm on Christian, but yeah, Christian like then just ended up like knocking Scotty down before or Scotty could connect with the worm. Yeah. And then at one point, then Christian then tried to do the worm on Scotty too Hotty, but then Albert stopped him. And yeah, and then when it looked like Albert was like going to go for a Baldo bomb or something else, yeah, Albert was like trying to do something on Christian. And then Tess then just hit Albert with a big boot, but yeah, Scotty was able to stop them from getting the pin right there. Yeah, and then yeah, Scotty too Hotty then like hit a bulldog on Tess and then got the worm. And then, yeah, then Christian then just tried to go for an unpretty on Scotty too Hotty, but Scotty too Hotty was able to fight it off. And then, yeah, Scotty then just ended up throwing Christian into Albert, and Albert hit the Baldo bomb on Christian and got the pin. So, yeah, Albert and Scotty too Hotty got the win. So, yeah, so this was a solid match overall, and yeah, and a nice way to open up the show just to get the crowd all warmed up for the night. So, yeah, so this was a nice match. I would probably give it around 3 stars. Yeah. Then next up, then we had the Intercontinental Championship on the line. Edge defending against William Regal, and yeah, this was another good one too. I mean, yeah, this was just kind of like a solid Intercontinental Championship match. Yeah, William Regal did dominate the majority of this match. Yeah, this was just like kind of like during the time when uh like um this was kind of just like still when like Edge was just still uh, just like starting off as a singles competitor, like he was just coming off like the feud with Christian and all that stuff. Yeah, so yeah, Edge was still like relatively new as a singles competitor. So yeah, this was just kind of like look at this as like something to just kind of like still like toughen him up a bit to get him in like rough matches like this. Yeah. Now I did like at one point in the match where like William Regal was like on the outside of the ring, Edge was on the apron. Edge tried to hit a spear on William Regal, but William Regal moved out of the way and Edge ended up hitting the stairs. Then at one point, then as the referee was like checking on Edge, then William Regal ended up like grabbing a pair of brass knucks from that were hiding under the ring. Yeah, this was just like when William Regal was just like starting the brass knucks gimmick. Yeah, and then William Regal then like was just like dominating Edge for a majority of this match. Like I said, William Regal then like hit Edge with a power bomb. And those 2 double underhook suplexes that he did. Edge then like started to fight back, and then at one point then like William Regal then like got up the breast hooks trying to use them, but then yeah, Edge then hit a spear on William Regal and then was able to pin him. So yeah, Edge got the win to retain the Intercontinental Championship. Yeah, and of course like these two would like continue feuding over the next couple of months. Like they like on the following episode of SmackDown, like Edge broke William Regal's nose, and then they had another match at the Royal Rumble where William Regal won. Then they like at No Way Out, then they had like the brass knuckles on a pole match. So yeah, they were feud for the next couple of months. But yeah, this was a pretty good match. I would probably give this probably 3 stars again. Yeah. And then next up, then we had Matt Hardy versus Jeff Hardy with Lita as a special guest referee. Yeah. So yeah, I thought this storyline was pretty interesting. Like this was like the time when the Hardy Boys, they didn't break up, but yeah, there was kind of like they really were not getting along at this point because yeah, but the previous month at Survivor Series was of course when like Jeff Hardy made that a swanton off the top of the cage in that cage match with the Dudley Boys, which pretty much costed the Hardy Boys the match. Yeah. And then Matt was just like not kind of like angry that Jeff did that when he could have just like climbed down the cage and they would have won the match. Yeah. And then then like just their commodity and teamwork were like starting to fall apart. Like Matt and Jeff were just like really like arguing all the time. Matt was kind of like Jeff was felt like Jeff was being kind of selfish at this time, especially like with what he did at Survivor Series. So it was just like a lot of animosity between the Hardy Boys, and Lita was just kind of like caught in the middle, like just trying to get them to like stop fighting. And then yeah, then like Matt then just like came up with the idea for Lita to be the referee for their match here. Yeah. So I thought this was a solid match once again. I mean, this match was like kind of like getting some steam back then, but I don't really think the match was that bad. I think probably the reason why this match kind of did get the heat that it did was probably because, like, given the Hardy Boys style, people really were kind of expecting a lot more. But the Hardys, instead for this match were just like going for like a more slower ground based match, and fans just like really weren't into that, especially from the Hardys. But the match was fine. Yeah, and it just kind of did go back and forth between the two of them. Like, I didn't really understand why, like, in this whole like storyline that like they were kind of like passing off Matt as the heel, but come on, didn't his frustrations kind of make sense? I mean, I could kind of see where Matt was coming from, because Jeff like could have just like climbed down the cage at Survivor Series and they would have won the match. So Matt's frustrations did kind of like make sense here. So I'm not really sure why they were trying to pass him off as the heel for this. But this match was once again pretty solid. Like, they were just like going back and forth with each other. Like Matt was kind of using a little more dirty tactics in the match throughout. And and at one point I think like Jeff ended up like hurting his knee or something in the match. And then and they were just kind of like Matt and Jeff were just like going at it with each other and stuff. And then and like Matt at one point like got a half Boston Crab in on Jeff, and then like even when Jeff got to the ropes, Matt Hardy still wouldn't let go. Oh, and and Lita was even like calling this match right down the middle. Wasn't even like even though like Matt was her boyfriend, she wasn't like siding with Matt here. Because they were and like saying like Lita looked at Jeff as like a brother. So Lita was really calling this right down the middle. And then at one point Jeff tried to go to the top for a move, but his knee, he ended up like causing him to fall down. Then Matt then tried to go for a twist of fate on Jeff, but Jeff was able to counter into a leg drop, then at one point like Jeff tried to go up to the top rope again, but he couldn't capitalize because of his knee. And then Matt then like tried to do a twist of fate on Jeff once again, but Jeff ended up reversing it into a twist of fate of his own. Then at one point, then Matt tried to pin Jeff by using the ropes for leverage, but Lita caught that and didn't count. And then and I did think the ending was nice, where like you had the two of them like on the top turnbuckle, but Matt tried to go for a twist of fate from the top, but Jeff threw Matt off, and then Jeff then hit a swanton on Matt and then pinned him, and Jeff got the win. They were trying to they tried to pass it off as like it was a controversial win, because they were trying to they were saying that like during the pin Matt did like get his foot on the rope. Oh, but Leah didn't see it. But even then, like Jeff ended up like pulling Matt's foot off the rope during the pin count. So so there was no controversy. Jeff pulled Matt's foot off the rope, so there was no controversy surrounding it. So I don't see why they made such a big deal about it, making it seem that Lita screwed over Matt here. So it's really not as bad as people really did make it out to be, but it was a solid match. But just I really don't think this was like what the match people really do like think of when they see like the Hardy Boys going at it against each other. So but it's still a solid match. So I'd probably give it 3 stars once again. Then after this, then we had the tag team championship on the line. The Dudley Boys defending against the Big Show and Kane, and Yeah, this wasn't good. Yeah, this was a bad match. This is probably the worst match of the night right here. Yeah, this just really was not interesting at all. This was just like pretty boring. Yeah, yeah, like Kane and the Big Show, like they didn't really were really not able to like function properly at this point. Yeah, I mean they tried, but yeah, they still like were not able to really function as a tag team at this point. Yeah, so this match just was pretty boring. I really don't remember really a whole lot from it. Yeah, you remember like at one point like Stacy Lee like got into the ring as like the Dudleys were on the outside. And then then like the Big Show then just like pulled Stacy's skirt down, revealing her panties, and then just ended up like spanking Stacy. Yeah, yeah. Then at one point, like Kane tried to like go for his flying clothesline on Devon when Devon was like standing up against Big Show, but yeah, Devon moved out of the way and Kane accidentally hit Big Show, and so that kind of like caused a little bit of animosity between Kane and the Big Show. Yeah, then the Dudley Boys were able to fight them off, and then eventually like they were able to like throw Big Show face first into the exposed steel at the top turnbuckle, and the Dudley Boys ended up getting the win. So the Dudley Boys ended up retaining the tag team titles. So, yeah, this really just wasn't very good. It was pretty boring and probably the worst match of the night. I'd probably give that like a star and a half. Then next up, then we had the Hardcore Championship on the line. Rob Van Dam defending against The Undertaker, and yeah, this was a really good match right here. I mean, this was a real forgotten gem. I really don't hear people talking about this. Yeah, this was Undertaker's first pay-per-view after his heel turn in that year. Yeah, I mean, yeah, so yeah, Undertaker's heel run at this time, and yeah, I thought this was kind of like a good thing for him to do. Yeah, given that 2001 was a pretty crummy year for him, the heel turn that he had at the end of the year that carried over into 2002, of course, I thought it was like a good way to kind of like freshen up his character. Yeah, like I said, seeing as how 2001 was like a pretty crummy year for him, yeah, they could like freshen the Undertaker up with this heel gimmick, and yeah, they did. Like they gave Undertaker like a haircut, and yeah, they just made him like all about respect and all this other stuff. Yeah, and this match actually wasn't even made into a hardcore title match until just earlier in the night on Sunday Night Heat. Yeah, but yeah, this was a really good match right here. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it just really did go back and forth. It like really did. It spilled into the crowd. There were like a lot of weapons used in the match. And yeah, now at one point, like RVD like hit a top rope somersault on Undertaker. Yeah, and then yeah, they were like fighting, hiding like into the crowd. Like it just spilled into the crowd. They were fighting through people. Yeah, then they like ended up like fighting into the storage area. Yeah, then yeah, at one point like RVD. Then, like, as the Undertaker was like going to like hit RVD with a chair, RVD like ended up like sprayed like the fire substance from a fire extinguisher into the Undertaker's eyes, and the Undertaker was like blind for a second, and then RVD was able to nail Undertaker with the fire extinguisher. Yeah, and, like how like RVD like got up like into the stands and was able, and then like just like right in the over the exit that was in the storage area, and then RVD just ended up like diving down from the rails onto Undertaker. So yeah, that was a cool segment right there. It's a cool moment. Yeah, and then it eventually like ended up like spilling onto the stage where they continued to go at it. RVD then like was able to like use a steel chair and drive Undertaker's head into the like the steel part of the staging. Yeah. And then RVD tried to do a couple of Van Daminators on Undertaker with the chair, but yeah, Undertaker was able to dodge both of them. Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, Undertaker also like tried to like go for a last ride onto RVD, but RVD was able to like climb up the stage and to get out of it. Yeah, and then and yeah, then eventually then like RVD then hit a rolling thunder on Undertaker onto the stage with a chair. Yeah, then RVD then like ended up like after RVD's second attempt at the Van Daminator, yeah, then Undertaker then just ended up chokeslamming RVD right off the stage through a couple tables, and then that allowed the Undertaker to pin RVD and get the win, and Undertaker became the Hardcore Champion. So it was kind of interesting seeing the Undertaker as the hardcore champion at that time because a lot of main eventers didn't really hold the hardcore championship. Usually, like the mid carders would be like chasing after the hardcore championship. So it was interesting seeing the Undertaker become the hardcore champion. Yeah, and the Undertaker even held it for a couple months. It was interesting seeing that. Yeah, but this was a really good match right here, and a very forgotten gem on the shelf. I would give this 3.5 stars. Then next up, then we had the women's championship on the line. Trish Stratus defending against Jacqueline, and this was the. I mean, it was only 3 minutes, so it didn't really take up that much time. I mean, Trish really didn't like have really a lot of talent at the time. This was still like relatively new into her like full-time wrestling career. So Trish really didn't do much here. Like whenever Trish did go on offense, it was kind of sloppy. Jacqueline did do all right here, but there just really wasn't a whole lot to work with. But like I said, it was only 3 minutes, so it really didn't take up that much time, and it didn't take away a lot of time from the show. I had a couple points in this match, like Trish's bra kept like poking through her shirt. And then Jerry Lawley kept pointing that out. That Trish was wearing a black bra. But then Trish ended up getting the win after like a Trish got the win after getting the backslide to pin Jacqueline. So Trish ended up winning and retaining the title. So I would give that match probably like 2 stars. All right. And then we got the matches to determine the undisputed champion. So this this whole thing was like a 3-match thing where like WWF title would be on the line, then the world title would be on the line, and then the winners of both matches would then face each other for the undisputed championship. So first up then we had the WWF championship on the line. It was Stone Cold defending against Kurt Angle. And this was a pretty good match right here. Overall, I'd say this was probably the weakest of their matches they had in 2001. I saw Lundrick say in his review that he felt that the chemistry between them was just better with like Kurt Angle as the face and Stone Cold as the heel, which it seems to be that way. I think that they did have better chemistry like that. Switching around, I mean, it was still good, but it just didn't seem to work as well as it was with the roles reversed. But this was still a pretty good match right here. It just kind of did go back and forth between the two of them. Kurt Angle went for the ankle lock kind of early on in the match, but then Stone Cold was able to get out of it and apply an arm lock with. And he just did kind of go like back and forth between them. At one point, Kurt Angle was like targeting Stone Cold's knees in the match. At one point, like Kurt Angle actually got Stone Cold in a figure 4 through the ring post. And throughout the match, like Kurt Angle went for the ankle lock a few times in the match. Then it like spilled to the outside, and then Stone Cold ended up like knocking Kurt Angle's head right onto the announce table, and then Kurt Angle then tried to go for the ankle lock again, but Stone Cold rolled through it, and then Kurt Angle then like hit the belly to belly suplex and 3 German suplexes on Stone Cold. And then Kurt Angle then ended up like trying to go for a moonsault on Stone Cold, but Stone Cold moved out of the way, and then Stone Cold hit a Luth Edge press on Kurt Angle with a spine buster. But then Stone Cold then like hit a series of German suplexes on Kurt Angle. But then as Kurt Angle was like near the ropes, then Kurt Angle then hit Stone Cold with a low blow and then hit an angle slam on Stone Cold. And it looked like that might have been it, but Stone Cold kicked out. Then as Stone Cold got up, then Kurt Angle tried to go for the stunner on Stone Cold, but Stone Cold was able to reverse it, and then Stone Cold then hit the stunner on Kurt Angle and was able to pin Kurt Angle and get the win. So Stone Cold retained the WWF Championship. So like I said, this was still a good match, but probably the worst of their matches in 2001. So I would probably give it 3.5 stars. Then next up, then we had the second match, which was for the World Championship, not the WCW Championship, not the World Heavyweight Championship. It was just known as the World Championship at this time, with The Rock defending against Chris Jericho. And what can I say? I mean, it's The Rock and Chris Jericho. I've already talked about their matches before, and yeah, this match was no exception. This was still just an awesome match right here. I mean, yeah, they just really did work well together. Or, I mean, this probably wasn't as good as some of their other matches, but it was still great. Right here, yeah. Yeah. It just really did go back and forth between the two of them. And once again, I mean, yeah, there was like a lot of brawling on the outside during this match. Like Chris Jericho at one point tried to rock bottom the Rock through the announce table, but the Rock was able to counter it and DDT Chris Jericho onto the announce table. It didn't like fully break somehow. Yeah. Yeah. And then, Chris Jericho like tried to go for the lion salt at one point, but The Rock was able to dodge it. But then, then after like the Chris Jericho was able to get the Rock down again, then Chris Jericho was able to counter with the lion salt. Yeah, and it just like went back and forth between them. Like, I did like at one point like Chris Jericho was trying to mock the people's elbow. Like, Chris Jericho like was in the position to do the people's elbow. He pulled his elbow pad off, but instead of like throwing it to the crowd, he just like went and dropped it down. Yeah, but before Chris Jericho actually delivered the people's elbow, the Rock then like got Chris Jericho into the sharpshooter. But Chris Jericho was able to counter it and get the Rock into the sharpshooter. Yeah. And then then at one point Chris Jericho then like tried to get the Rock into the walls of Jericho, but the Rock countered it into a roll up, but Chris Jericho survived it. Yeah. Then the Rock then ended up rock bottoming Chris Jericho, but then Vince McMahon ended up like running down trying to like distract the referee to stop the Rock from winning. Yeah. But the Rock then like was fighting off Vince McMahon. Even like at one point as like the Rock was going for the people's elbow on Chris Jericho, as Vince McMahon was on the ring apron. As the Rock was running to Vince, he just threw Vince into the ring and then hit the people's elbow on Chris Jericho. Yeah. And then as the Rock was then fighting with Vince, as the referee was trying to get Vince out, then Chris Jericho then nailed the Rock with a low blow and then got the Rock bottom. And then that allowed Chris Jericho to pin the Rock and get the win. So Chris Jericho won the World Championship up here. So this was once again a great match. Probably not as great as some of the other matches they had, like No Mercy and stuff, but it was still a great match. I would probably give that 4 stars. Yeah. And then immediately after this, then we get the Undisputed Championship match between Stone Cold and Chris Jericho. Yeah, I did always think it was like kind of weird that they did it that way, where they had the Undisputed title match go on like right after the first 2 matches. I would have thought they would have done something like have the first 2 matches like go on like earlier in the show and give like the both winners like time to recuperate and then have the show close with the Undisputed Championship match. But instead they chose to do all 3 matches back to back to back. So So Stone Cold came down to the ring and tried to go at it with Chris Jericho, but before the match officially started, Kurt Angle then came down and nailed Stone Cold with a steel chair. And then and after that, then The Rock came back into the ring and rock bombed Chris Jericho, and then The Rock then just chased Kurt Angle to the back. Yeah. And then the match was officially underway, and it was still a good match. Probably not as good as it could have been, but I think that might just be due to the fact that both guys had just wrestled a match, so they weren't totally at 100% here. So that could probably be a reason why it was kind of like not as good as it could have been. Yeah. Yeah, I saw Lendrick say that he didn't really think that Stone Cold and Chris Jericho really had good chemistry together, and maybe their chemistry wasn't really the best, but I enjoyed the matches they had together. Yeah, and this was a pretty good one once again. Yeah, I mean, they once again fought like around the outside of the ring at the announce table. Yeah, and Stone Cold tried to hit a Stone Cold Stunner on Jericho on the announce table, but Chris Jericho was able to counter it into the walls of Jericho, but Stone Cold was able to flip it off the table. Yeah. Yeah, then at one point, then Stone Cold actually ended up suplexing Chris Jericho onto the floor, then just threw him back into the ring, and yeah, and the two of them were just like going at it once again. At one point, like Chris Jericho got Stone Cold into an armbar, and Chris Jericho even like had his feet on the ropes for leverage. The referee didn't see. Yeah. And then after like Chris Jericho tried to hit like a flying forearm smash on Stone Cold ducked, and Chris Jericho accidentally hit the referee. Then Jericho then hit a low blow on Stone Cold, and then Vince McMahon then came out, tried to bring Nick Patrick in to referee the match, but then Ric Flair ended up coming out and just got rid of Nick Patrick. But then Vince then just ended up like just attacking Ric Flair and throwing him into the ring post. Yeah. Then as Stone Cold tried to go after Vince McMahon, then like Stone Cold then so Chris Jericho then like tried to like nail Chris Jericho Chris Jericho tried to nail Stone Cold, sorry, on the top rope, but Stone Cold caught Chris Jericho and then got him in the walls of Jericho, and Jericho was tapping out, but there was no referee. But then Booker T ended up coming through the crowd and then nailed Stone Cold with the WWF title, knocking him out. And then that allowed Chris Jericho to cover Stone Cold, and Vince brought the referee back in the ring, and Chris Jericho was able to pin Stone Cold and get the win. So Chris Jericho became the very first ever Undisputed Champion, which everybody knows. So it was a good match, I guess, overall. Like I said, probably not really as good as it could have been, but yeah, given that it was their second match, and especially with Chris Jericho having no rest beforehand, I think they did the best they could have done with it. So it was a good match, I guess. I would probably give it like 3.25. Yeah. So overall, with the show, I'd probably give it a 7 out of 10. Yeah, I mean, the show was pretty solid all the way around. I mean, the tag title match wasn't good, and the women's match really wasn't all that good either, but still, the rest of the show, it still did flow pretty well, so the show was pretty solid overall. So, really, I can't find a whole lot to complain about other than just the tag match, really. So if you haven't seen this before, I guess I would give it a recommendation, especially, like, if you just, for that, and it does have, like, that, it is known for, like, the Undisputed Championship stuff, so if you haven't seen it before, I would recommend checking it out if you have the time. Nothing spectacular, but still a solid 2.5 hour show. Yeah. Alright, so I guess that's all I can really say about it. So I guess this was my review of Vengeance 2001. But before I end the video, like I said at the start, now I'll tell you guys what my plans are this year for Christmas. So we are 2 weeks away from Christmas, and every year, usually, I always make Christmas reviews in honor of Christmas. And this year is going to be no exception. I am once again going to be doing a series of Christmas reviews. Now, over the years, I have kind of mixed it up, kind of some years I reviewed just regular theatrical Christmas movies. I reviewed TV Christmas specials. I reviewed TV Christmas movies. Yeah, I've kind of just mixed it up and just done usually done different types of Christmas reviews. This year, there's really not going to be any specific subject I'm going to be talking about. Any specific type of Christmas review I'm going to do. This is just open to anything, whether it is Christmas movies, whether it's theatrical or TV, direct to video, or TV Christmas specials. Yeah, this year, it's just open to anything that I haven't talked about that's Christmas related. So that's what I'm going to be doing this year. I'm just going to be reviewing just other various Christmas movies and specials that I really haven't talked about yet that seem to be popular ones. So that's what I'm going to be doing this year. But in addition to that, it's not just going to be Christmas. This year I also want to do something in honor of Hanukkah and Kwanzaa, despite the fact that I don't really I don't celebrate either holiday. I figured I would do something in honor of those two holidays. So this year I'll also do a Hanukkah related review and a Kwanzaa related review when Kwanzaa comes along. So this year it's really just holiday reviews. So those are going to be my plans this year for the Christmas for the next 2 weeks, basically. All right, but and also this year I'm going to be doing these Christmas reviews in style. So this year, we'll be doing the Christmas reviews in style. So stay tuned for these Christmas reviews coming up for the next 2 weeks, and these holiday reviews as well. Sometime during Hanukkah before it ends, I will do a Hanukkah review, and sometime during Kwanzaa, I will also do a Kwanzaa review. So yeah, stay tuned for those coming up. Yeah. But anyway, so I hope you guys did enjoy this video, and stay tuned for these Christmas and holiday reviews. All right. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.